Hello and welcome to Nationwide. I'm Najaa Tijani. Thanks for joining us. The APC Presidential Campaign Council has been formally inaugurated with the hard-working, long-suffering but resolutely committed Nigerians being appreciated for investing their trust in the genuine efforts by the governing party at redirecting the country towards sustainable and wholesome development. President Muhammadu Buhari, who performed the ceremony, said with Nigeria already taken to a new level of enduring peace, economic growth, political stability, justice and progress, all that is required for the attainment of its manifest destiny is continuity of the change agenda. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Victory for us is a victory for all well-meaning Nigerians who are committed to change.
President Buhari is indeed referring to the change from an inglorious past where those in positions of authority willfully took for themselves what belongs to all Nigerians, where lip service was paid to the security of citizens, and where economic growth was sacrificed for import dependency.
We have, in the last 3 years and 6 months, reversed this downward slide that the PDP took us in its 16 years of misrule. We have restored the territorial integrity of our nation. We have reset our national values. Corruption is no longer condoned and is no longer seen as normal for public office holders. The high and low are receiving jail terms. Loots are being recovered, and the Nigerians are increasingly displaying the timeless values of honesty, honor, and decency. I congratulate us all for making these changes possible. Our economy has become a prudently managed enterprise. Our resources are now working for us.
The national drift, he said, has now been halted, shadow of insecurity and fear dominating public life removed, and the economy revived from decline to stability and growth. And as the governing party begins campaign in earnest, the president implored leaders and other stakeholders to resist being provoked but remain focused and civil in their engagement with citizens on all issues at stake.
I urge members of this formidable team to always keep their eyes on the ball, which is the success of our party at the polls. I wish to appeal to all members to be guided by the enduring vision behind the formation and sustenance of our party, which is anchored on sacrifice and imperative to salvage and stabilize our great and promising nation.
President Buhari, who reiterated his commitment to free and fair elections, promised to keep insisting that votes must count.
If there is one legacy I want to leave, is the enthronement of democracy as a system of government. And for democracy to be enthroned, elections must be free and fair. That means citizens have a right to vote for candidates of their choice without intimidation in any form. I have warned INEC and security agencies to that effect.
With barely 40 days to the elections, the president assured the nation that the tasking campaigns will be done across Nigeria consensuously without making either his work or governance suffer. To this end, he explained that his co-chairman, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will be fully in charge and on a 24-hour vigil. Mr. Rotimi Amechi, as Director General, is responsible for all aspects of the presidential campaign, including field operations.
What we are pleading with Nigerians is another 4 years to consolidate on what we have started. We are almost there. Don't give one vote to PDP. They are hungry. They can't stand not touching government money.
In the course of the campaign, the council said people
of APC in promoting issue-based campaigns.
Our commitment is total and we have a brand that needs no introduction. Our job has been made easier because the council itself is all-inclusive.
And in most states, we've already started campaigning for the president, and we'll deliver him, by God's grace, on the 16th of February, which is my birthday. So I will have double celebration.
The party is growing by the day. We received a lot of high personalities from other parties.
Traditionally, since 1999, that once a president is in office, definitely the second term obviously is not in doubt.
For us, particularly in the northeastern part of Nigeria, we have no choice than to elect Buhari. Before his arrival, nobody goes home. Today, not only are we going home, we are staying in our state capital all the time.
Our president, we understand our president. He's not somebody that is always desperate for power, but we want him back. Nigerians want him back. So that was why, even before this inauguration, many of us had already inaugurated him in our state.
We already started campaigning. This is a formal launching. We already started campaigning. When I was a Lauren, we will meet the date. Be rest assured.
Now APC is in government, so we are even better prepared. We are stronger, in mobilizing Nigerians.
Don't worry about the time we're starting. It's what we do with the time we have that will determine success at the end of the day.
All of the people who you see as members of the council have been doing one work or the other, and you will find that there is a very broad-based and cross-cutting team involving governors, serving and former governors, and many senior members of the party.
So we have a number of things to talk about. The government has performed and is performing. Mr. President is well known. He's a person of impeccable character. That is easy to market. We have a unique product.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Professor Jerry Gana, has unveiled his action agenda for Nigeria if elected president in the forthcoming election. This was at the party's Stakeholders Summit in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf was there for NTA News.
The SDP presidential candidate's action agenda is tagged SWIFT. That is security re-engineering, wealth creation, infrastructure excellence and power supply, fight against corruption and indiscipline, as well as technology, education and human development. Professor Gana promised to consolidate on the present administration's fight against corruption.
Therefore, one of our programs must consistently deal with the fight against corruption and indiscipline.
Members of the SDP National Working Committee, state chairmen and candidates reiterated the party's resolve to remain loyal to constituted authority before and after the election.
It is not about Professor Jerry Gana. It is about several other people who are running for election on this platform.
Professor Jerry Gana's presidential campaign structure was also presented to the stakeholders. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
A certified copy of registered voters for the general elections has been presented to the political parties by the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi reports.
Section 20, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended states that the supplementary voters list shall be integrated with that resident forms, though with some modifications.
Where the biometric authentication fails, the voter will be required to thumbprint a box next to his or her picture on the register and to enter his or her mobile telephone number before proceeding to vote. Consequently, the separate incident form used in previous elections, which is only completed by the presiding officer without the involvement of the voter, is now abolished.
You have even a space for thumbprint, and you also have a space for telephone number, so that if there's litigation, you can take this into the court.
This is the ballot paper.
With 89 political parties participating in the elections, one may think the length of the ballot paper may be up to 12 feet. But a demonstration copy of it shows that it's quite brief and will be properly folded before dropping in the ballot box to avoid displaying it to candidates to claim rewards, that is, vote buying. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Thank you, Mie. And still on the 2019 polls, election observation is critical to strengthening the credibility of the electoral process, and as such should not be an all-comers affair. Guests on NTA's Current Affairs program, Good Morning Nigeria, advocated thorough scrutiny of observers for the 2019 elections by INEC to guarantee their neutrality and credibility of their assessment of the electoral process. Patricia Isami-Luba reports.
Observation by independent bodies facilitate neutral feedback mechanism to the electoral umpire on possible ways of improving on the electoral process.
One of the new things is to ask groups to sign indemnity forms such that after the process, if we discover that probably the kits that we give to them have been loaned out to political parties or some other groups that have any untoward interests, we would be able to take
clarifications regarding the alleged invasion of Media Trust headquarters in Abuja and its regional office in Maiduguri. A statement signed by the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, says soldiers and other security agents were indeed on the premises of the media house, but it was to invite its staff over the lead story in Sunday Trust, which divulged classified military information. The statement continues, quote, "The disclosure of classified security information amounts to a breach of national security, which runs contrary to Sections 1 and 2 of the Official Secrets Act. It afforded the Boko Haram terrorists prior notice of plans, giving them early warning to prepare against the Nigerian military, thus sabotaging planned operations and putting the lives of troops in imminent and clear danger." Unquote. The military assures journalists that the invitation is for investigative purposes only, as the Nigerian army has no intention of muzzling press freedom, but urges fairness and professionalism in reportage. Internally displaced persons from Kukawa and other areas in Borno North have been assured of government's concern over their plight and the efforts being made to address the recent spate of attacks by Boko Haram insurgents on their communities. Governor Kashim Shettima gave the assurance during a sympathy visit to Munguno, where the people are taking refuge. Muhammad Ghani reports.
Kashim Shettima says the visit was to commiserate with them over the recent terror attacks on their communities, adding that all the leadership structures and the political office holders are concerned about their plight. The governor, who also interacted with the IDPs from Baga, Kroskawa and Doro in Kuka local government taking refuge in Monguno, informed them that government has provided enough food and non-food items to last them for about 2 months and prayed for an end to the violent attacks.
We are putting in our best to see that we provide livelihood support for displaced IDPs.
Primary focus this time around is the new arrivals from Kuka local government areas. As of 31st December, for new arrivals, we have over 7,000, and now it is close to almost 10,000. Then we have about 12 official camps, very mega camps in this town, apart from the new arrivals.
This school is one of the new mega schools being constructed by the state government to actually give the IDP children normal life. Governor Kashim Shettima has just inspected it and is satisfied with the quality of work being done. In Gajiram, the headquarters of Mganze local government, Mohamed Goni, NTA News.
The arraignment of the senator representing Kogi West, Dino Melaye, has been halted due to ill health of the defendant. Melaye, alongside other defendants, would have been arraigned this Monday for them to take over their plea on a 2-count charge of alleged conspiracy and attempted murder. Dele Atumbi reports.
Melaye, who is in one of the police medical facilities in Abuja, turned down the police request to make statement, a legal prerequisite for arraignment. These developments stalled the proposed arraignment of the defendant, who appealed to be taken to other medical facility for further medical attention, which the police controverted that Dino Melaye, according to his medical record before artists of, it is not ready to wheel any defendant to court to face trial.
But if he said he's not fit enough to go to court, we will treat him. We'll give him the best medical attention that we can afford.
When the defendant finally recuperates, he is expected to face his alleged criminal charge at the Federal High Court, Lokoja, in Abuja. Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
You are still watching Nationwide. More stories from Lagos. Michael is our guide. Hello, Michael. Well, we're sorry we couldn't take Lagos. We'll go on a commercial break now. The news continues shortly.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team. The North Central Women Zonal Rally for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Venue, Lafia Square, Lafia. Date, Tuesday, 8th January 2019. Time, 11 a.m. In attendance will be Wife of the President, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, Wife of the Vice President, Her Excellency Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, APC National Women Leader, Hajia Salamotu Baiwa Umar Eluma, Wives of Governors, all APC zonal and state women leaders, all elected APC officials, all APC members. Chief host, Her Excellency Hajia Salamotu Tanko Almakura, Wife of the Governor, Nasarawa State. Announcer, Her Excellency Hajia Mairo Tanko Almakura, Vice Chair, North Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team.
2019 elections is approaching. While making up your mind on who to vote in every part of Nigeria, remember, corruption kills. It results in poorly equipped hospitals, poorly constructed bridges, poor quality of education, lack of jobs, poor quality of health care, lack of quality housing, deprivation and suffering, economic depression. It drives away foreign investment. It brings about lack of infrastructure. It is an embarrassment to our nation. At the federal level, in every state, in every local government, vote wisely. Elect leaders with integrity and proven character. That is one critical step towards building a great nation. You have a role to play. vote wisely.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Viewers.
The campaign, more than 10,000 PDP supporters defected to APC.
Dengue Town, headquarters of the Nigerian local government of Sokoto State, play host to thousands of APC supporters who converged to witness the flag up of party's state campaign for this year's general elections. The event saw defection of PDP stalwarts who joined APC. They include Special Assistant to Governor Amin Waziri Tambol, Alhaji Yaro Ilela Gajara, State PDP Legal Advisor Nasir Sahabi Tambol, PDP Women Leader for Tambol Local Government, PDP Ward Chairman for Rood Ward in the Ngishuni Local Government, a large number of their supporters. They assured their commitment to work for the success of APC at all levels. APC leader in Sokoto State, Senator Aliumaga Tekardawamako, said APC has credible candidates, stressing the need for people to massively vote for the party. Other speakers call on people to join APC to consolidate the change agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Minister of Defense Mansour Danli says success of the ongoing military operations against the armed bandits terrorizing people in Zamfara State is predicated on the level of support and cooperation the troops received from members of the affected communities. Jamil Ibrahim Gusau reports that the minister made the assertion while on an assessment visit to the Operation Sharandaji's headquarters in Gusau. The report.
Operation Sharandaji is one of the ongoing military operations in Zamfara State aimed at flushing out the armed bandits terrorizing the rural communities. Minister of Defense Mansour Dan Ali was at the headquarters of the operation located in Gusau, the state capital, on an assessment visit. Mansour Dan Ali met behind closed doors with the commander of the operation, Brigadier General Lanus Odibala.
I wanted to hear from the operators on ground. What are their problems and how can we help them to achieve ultimate aim?
The defense minister, who says the federal government is doing everything possible to bring a lasting peace in Zamfara State, however, observes that success of the efforts depends largely on the support and cooperation the security agents enjoy from members of the communities.
I believe with the stakeholders, emirate and villages level that the state government has established and the use of civilian JTF, there will be peace, inshallah.
The minister also addressed some troops of the operation, where he commended their gallantry and reassured them of the defense headquarters' commitment to addressing their challenges. A 1-minute silence was observed in honor of some members of the troops who recently lost their lives during an encounter with the armed bandits in Birni Magaji local government area of the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Yusuf Tukur Buratai has inspected military formations in Sokoto as part of effort to ensure full takeoff of 8th Division of the Nigerian Army. Dalat Abdullahi updates us live from the division.
Of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai is in Sokoto for an official visit. He paid condolence visit to the families of Let Shagali, inspected some facilities at the 1 Brigade Nigerian Army Headquarters Sokoto, addressed 26th Battalion at the 1 Brigade Headquarters Sokoto, and inspected military hospital in Sokoto. He is now at the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army Headquarters Sokoto. Chief of Army Staff, can you share with Nigerians the purpose of your visit to Sokoto State?
Well, thank you very much. As you all know, I have to come and pay respect to our former Commander-in-Chief, and took that opportunity to also inspect some facilities for the new division of the Nigerian Army, that is the 8th Division. And this is what we're doing, and I'm well satisfied with the level of development of this youngest division of the Nigerian Army. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
From the 8th Division of the Nigerian Army Headquarters Sokoto, Dalatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Sokoto is back to Nigeria to Abuja for more nationwide.
Thank you very much, Noura. Now, would it shock you to know that for close to 16 years, no project was completed and inaugurated by the federal government under the Ministry of Water Resources? However, that all changed since the inception of the government of the day. That got to a peak in 2018 when the federal government inaugurated more than 8 water supply projects in the year 2018. Correspondent Musbao Wahab tells us about the unprecedented feat in the water sector since the Buhari administration began its policy of say no.
0% cargo water supply is totally unacceptable in the 21st century.
The sector is in crisis, and if the sector is in crisis, it requires emergency action.
It was a situation that demanded that the federal government gets beyond its constitutional role of providing the bulk water alone to assisting state governments on how to get water into public pipes. So, Water Resources Ministry made a shift in the paradigm of abandoning projects.
We identified 116 abandoned or uncompleted projects relating to irrigation, dams, drainage and water supply.
That yielded results of bumper inauguration of various water supply projects, more than 8 in number, across the country in 2018, the highest so far in a year.
In less than a week, 4 water projects. I think it's clear testament to the fact that this government believes in infrastructural development.
Again, more than 2 years of consultation and series of retreats got to a defining moment in November of 2018 when President Muhammadu Buhari launched the National Action Plan and declared a state of emergency on water and sanitation sector for policy direction. Also, one of various mechanisms in place, the Partnership for Expanded Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene, PWASH, is gaining momentum. The initiative to collaborate with state governments and other development partners has kick-started in Kano and Ogun states out of the 22 states that subscribed to the idea. Development partners and international donors too are showing more interest towards development of the sector.
This is an effort that requires the contribution of all those that are working in the sector. It's a big challenge, and the contributions, I mean, they are small, but when you bring them together, they will grow to be big, and we need the effort of every entity working in WASH.
And now, with a sustained momentum and commitment, there is enthusiasm across the nation in what 2019 holds for the sector, with tens of projects lined up for inauguration. In Abuja, Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
And reports from Rivers State say the Federal High Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, has nullified all APC nominations for the 2019 polls. Presiding Justice James Omotosho said the party did not comply with the provisions of the Electoral Act with respect to the nomination of candidates. The court also ordered INEC to delist the names of all Rivers State APC candidates submitted to it. And now our next stop is Enugu, where Chinenye is standing by with more updates. Hello, Chinenye.
And welcome to Enugu Network Center. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has charged officers and men of the Nigerian Army to remain apolitical as the Army gears up for their assigned roles in the forthcoming 2019 general elections. The GOC 82 Division, Major General Abubakar Mekobi, relayed the message during his one-day working visit to the Army barracks on Isha. Ekene Ndulwe has details.
As the 2019 general elections draw nearer, the Nigerian Army has set machinery in motion to tackle security challenges that may come up before, during, and after the election. One of such machineries is the Operation Eweke 3, nationwide to tackle already observed upsurge in security challenges.
The GOC 82 Division, who was received at the Onitsha Army Barracks by the Commander 302 Artillery Regiment, Colonel Yakubu Buala, tasked the soldiers and officers to remain professional in the discharge of their duties during and after the elections.
The role of the military is like we have performed in other operations.
The suicide, because the Silver Technical reports.
Christmas and New Year celebrations over. The Federal Road Safety Corps, Enugu State Command, in recounting their various efforts and measures toward reducing road crashes that usually characterize festive seasons.
We've had almost all the crashes recorded so far. No crashes. It really means that people are losing concentration while driving. And we are grateful to God that of all the crashes that occurred, only a few deaths were recorded, which I would say is as a result of the fact that at least a lot of people obeyed traffic rules and regulations.
He remarked that most of the accidents recorded by the command during this period occurred between 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. Meanwhile, some transporters attribute the low rate of accidents this season to the Ember Month training by officers and men of the FRSC.
We are those of do in the month with our drivers this last month, December. So there's no problem because those safety people used to train our drivers 3 times yearly.
As so many people are still expected back to their different stations after the holiday, the Federal Road Safety Corps say the end of the year special patrol is still on till January 15. Hence, the need for all motorists to obey all traffic rules, in addition to giving consideration to other road users, so as to sustain the improvement so far recorded. I am Ngozi Silva, Technical.
As 2019 gradually crawls on, people have continued to speak on their expectations for the new year. James Opareko went round Ubetimin Market in Enugu to speak to traders and customers on their expectations for the year.
Thing at last is here. And as usual, a lot of people expect so many things. Different people with different expectations. Here is the popular Obwete market, where we want to talk to the people on the street about their expectations for 2019. The year is not an unusual one, but there is something very unique about 2019. It is a year that Nigeria will conduct elections for another tenure in government. And there are so many issues, a lot of expectations from the people, both during the elections and after the elections.
My expectations is that during the election, we all will vote for the rightful candidates that will help our country to move forward.
As we are looking forward to this 2019 presidential and governor and House of Reps, senators, that God should just give us the good ones.
Prosper Nigeria the economy will improve. We expect that the election is going to be free and fair. And I would like to use this medium to advise the youths of this country not to allow themselves to be used as political thugs.
Let's talk to some people here, some customers in this place.
I expect that we have a good economy in this 2019. There are a lot of small businesses that are finding it very difficult to stand, I think they should make provisions for small business.
I expect them to create more jobs for the youths because the crime rate is getting high.
Time for the display. Obey, it's back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Agatha. Government Science and Technical College, Benin City, currently being remodeled by the state government, will in the next 90 days take delivery of laboratories and workshop equipment for installation. Governor Godwin Obaseki was speaking when he visited the college in order to ascertain the level of work. Goodluck Enaine reports.
This is the first time the governor is visiting the college since he performed the groundbreaking of the project in 2017. He is here to see the progress made on the new building which is expected to sit between 400 and 500 students and accommodate about 1,500 students at a time. Governor Obaseki is not comfortable with the slow pace of work. He wants the contractor to ensure the completion of most critical sections of the project to enable the school to take delivery of the equipment that are due to arrive in the next 90 days.
I believe that within the first 6 months of this year, this project should be ready.
The state is also discussing with the World Bank and relevant bodies on how to develop a manpower required to get the college running.
The Minister for Power has been very gracious to give us a dedicated line to connect power to this site and to University of Benin directly from the Hover Power plant.
What we're doing is refurbishing the facilities so that by September 2019, we have a rehabilitated school.
The project is one of the state government's efforts to reposition technical and vocational education in the state. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
The issue of security is top priority for Edo State government in 2019, and government will spare nothing in ensuring the state is peaceful. Governor Godwin Obaseki stated this when he received the new commander for Brigade Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Greg Omoregbe, in company of the outgoing commander, Brigadier General Ibrahim Muhammad, who were at the government house for a visit. Goodluck Inaini again reports.
Governor Obaseki is receiving the new army commander. Few days he received the new commissioner of police, who arrived the state for his new assignment. For Governor Obaseki, the coming of these two experienced high-ranking security personnel is a boost to the new security architecture put in place by the state government.
We are doing everything possible as a government to ensure that we have a security arrangement which acknowledges and recognizes the citizens of the state and integrates them into the security framework.
The new commander for Brigade, Brigadier General Greg Omoregbe, who hails from Edo State, describes his posting as homecoming. For the outgoing commander, Brigadier General Ibrahim Garba, who resumed duty 2 years ago, his stay in Edo was quite eventful. The outgoing commander is to proceed to Maiduguri for his new assignment. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
That sums up the contribution from Benin. It's Nationwide to continue after this break. Please stay with us.
Affords a level playing field for everyone who carries the will and courage to lead a people in the right direction.
I wish to call on women to go and spread the good news and accomplishment of the present administration.
Women inevitably are the right source to pave this path that can bring good governance, structural stability, rapid economic growth, and basic human rights to all its citizenry. There is no better time than now to experience their prowess in this era, when women all over the world are showing that they have the right tools to build a nation. The Buhari-led administration and APC have aligned with its purpose to involve women with the right vision. The idea is not just for participation, but inclusive participation.
We can exert more power than we would have individually in garnering the majority of registered women and youth voters to vote for the Buhari-Osinbajo team come 2019.
This is what change is all about. This is the vision of the All Progressives Congress. This is for
and running mate Peter Obi of the People's Democratic Party. Moderator Kadria Ahmed. Dates starts Wednesday 9th January 2019 with the candidates of the Young Progressive Party. Town Hall venue, Sheraton Hotel, Abuja, from 7 to 9 p.m. The candidates will be broadcast live on NTA and other partner TV and radio stations, as well as streamed online on NTA and DTV.media. If you're over 18 and want to be part of the audience, apply online at daria.media or use the hashtag NGTheCandidates or participate online using the hashtag NGTheCandidates.
I am Alioha Emmanuel Nhechinai. I'm from Imo State. My husband is from Abia State. I reside here in Ijebode, Ogun State, in Irenwo community. I've been a cassava farmer, and I noticed there is no much money in cassava farming alone. So when I heard about Empower program, I applied for it, and they gave me the opportunity to be part of it. It was from Empower program that I learned how to process cassava tubers to cassava fufu flour. This Empower program is the best thing that happened to me within these 2 years. I've really learned a lot, and I've really gained a lot from it. It was from my stipend that I bought my equipment that I'm using to process cassava flour today. I'm grateful to the federal government for giving us this device. I've really learned a lot from it, from the application and all that.
The 2019 elections are coming. Do not let yourselves be used by politicians. Do not allow your emotions go haywire. Do not be a tool to cause mayhem. No election matter is worth the destruction of lives and properties. Be wise. Don't be a violent Nigerian youth. Don't get involved in any act of violence. Your future is at stake. Shun violence during elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
You're still watching NTA Nationwide. Now let's revisit Lagos, where Michael is standing by. Hello, Michael. Michael.
Thank you, Najatu, and welcome to Lagos. Stakeholders in the nation's movie industry from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory converged on Lagos to fashion and strategies to combat piracy and other forms of infringement. The forum, which was at the instance of the National Film and Video Censors Board, had as a theme strengthening enforcement against unclassified films and video works. Elizabeth Omori reports.
That land belongs to Mweke, full stop, Kalate, Kalatum, Kalata. Asandi, Owende.
That show of creativity by late Sam Loco is one of the exportable artistic potential of the Nigerian movie industry, hence the need to protect intellectual works for economic growth. This workshop is designed to bring stakeholders in the nation's movie industry together to chart a way forward on how to strengthen enforcement against unclassified films. Executive Director, National Film and Video Censors Board, while reiterating the position of the present administration in making the creative sector a viable one, disclosed that the education of the citizens on the dangers of piracy remains critical to winning the war.
We'll be able to come out with different papers that's going to be married together, then we put it forward to the Minister of Information for an adoption by the President.
Issues bordering on data analysis, enforcement, licensing, and protection of intellectual property were brought to the fore.
Bring it to all these agencies points to the fact that this is a valuable product. And if we must ensure enforcement, all these chains must be involved.
What we need critically is awareness, capacity building.
The stakeholders also called for the prosecution of pirates and an effective legal framework. The workshop had in attendance representatives from the Nigeria Customs, DSS, NDLEA, Nigeria Police, EFCC, and members.
Is expected to take its full swing from Monday, and it is also expected that people will be prudent while spending in January. It's back to you in the studio for continuation of the news.
Thank you, Diana. That's our contribution from Lagos. Is now over to Najatu in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Michael. And from Lagos, let's go around the world for more stories with Adebola Brookslyn Sunday.
The military in Gabon says it has seized power from the President Ali Bongo-led government in the country. The military officers took control of the national radio station in the early hours of Monday to read a short statement announcing a National Restoration Council say they launched a coup to restore democracy. President Bongo, who took over power in 2009, reportedly suffered a stroke in October and was treated in Morocco.